Visayas,
Mindanao,
and all around the world.
Welcome to The Brush. We are your hosts. I'm Chloe.
And I am Ilan. We are here to tackle the very most hot-suited parts in the Philippines. When roses are red, violets are blue. We serve you art and the nation.
So as we celebrate the Independence Day of the Philippines this coming June 12 for today's episode, we are to feature three of the most esteemed artists that has contributed to the artistic industry growth.
So first on the menu, we serve you Moira de la Torre. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, kamusta ka naman?
Okay naman ako. Super rainy today. So, na-feel ko kumanta kasi ang ganda lang ng weather.
Cool. Alam mo, since ang mellow ng weather, since June na naman, Independence Day, you guys are OPM. So, kamusta naman ang feelings mo?
Um, I feel so much Filipino pride ngayon na pinag-uusapan natin yung OPM, and I'm here as a representative of the field of music. Ang sarap lang sa feeling na makapag-discourse or discuss about sa ating sarili natin.
Ooh. So, let's talk about yourself naman ngayon. How old were you when you were started singing?
Actually hindi ko na alam. Kasi parang feeling ko nung nagkaroon ako ng isip, nung namulat na ako, parang kumakanta na ako. And naalala ko, sinulat ko yung first song ko, 12 years old ako.
That's pretty young.
Yeah. Wait, does anyone like inspired you ba? Like, who's your favorite singer?
Yes. Ang nag-inspire sa akin ay si Brooke Fraser. Galing siya ng New Zealand. Siya kasi, kilala siya sa pop music, pero yung pop music niya medyo nasa soothing na side. So, hindi siya yung parang dance music talaga. Nasa ganun lang siya. Same lang ng weather natin ngayon.
Oh, ikaw, gusto ko bang tanong kay Miss Moira? Ako kasi napansin ko, you have like a very, very soft character. How does it like incorporate to your music?
Ah, Siyempre, mapapansin ng mga tao, nakikita ko nga yung mga memes sa internet. Kala nyo ba hindi ko nakikita? Ano, pinagtitripan nyo ako na mahangin yung voice ko? Well, totoo naman. Oo, mahangin yung voice ko, pero syempre ako, hindi ako mahangin. Yun. So, yung boses ko, soothing lang and airy. Medyo na-inspire ako kay Brooke Fraser, pero hindi sa ginagaya ko siya. Medyo, nahanap ko na rin yung sarili kong genre eventually, and nag-venture talaga ako. So, medyo mellow, medyo slow lang ng mga kanta.
Well, honestly, I really, really, really like your music. It's so soothing and therapeutic.
Sobrang perfect for the weather.
Yeah, grabe. Especially yun ngayon, maulan, no? Kita natin. Grabe ang lamig ng boses mo, Miss Moira. Grabe. Pinaparinggan ko siya every time na matutulog ako. Wow.
Ako, pag nilalamig.
Wow. So, ayun. Grabe. Do you plan on like swerving a little bit sa ibang genre? Like rap?
Oh yeah, I would like to hear that.
Makikita niyo pag minsan sa ASAP, 'di ba, nagi-guest ako. Nagta-try ako sa mga medyo dance music. Kaso meron kasi ang mga ibang genre talaga na medyo hindi bagay sa akin siguro. Kasi alto yung voice ko, hindi kasi ako soprano eh. Pero, ayun, open naman ako. If you guys want to see more of me, open.
That's cool. So, about art and the nation, what do you feel about it?
Ako, I feel na yung art natin ngayon, yung sariling atin ha, yung OPM, masaya ako na nabibigyang pansin siya. Pero syempre, nakikita ko na marami pang mga need na i-improve sa mga binibigay nating atensyon sa OPM kasi medyo karamihan pa rin sa atin. Mahilig pa rin sa K-pop or sa American pop. And hindi ko naman talaga masisisi kasi lumaki naman tayo na ganun. Pero maganda rin na sa ngayon nagbo-boom ang OPM at mas binibigyan na siya ng attention ngayon.
That's cool.
Ikaw ba, sino bang favorite OPM artist mo?
No bias ha. My favorite artist is Moira, syempre.
Ako hindi eh. Joke lang.
Hina-hot mo naman si Moira.
Oo, nag-iinit na yung seat ko.
Oh,
Are we expecting more from you?
Yes, of course you are expecting more from me ngayon. I am cooking up an album. Na-inspire kasi ako na mas magsulat po ng mga kanta. As you know, actually si Brooke Fraser din yung nag-inspire sa akin nung bata ako na magsulat ng sarili kong mga kanta. So, ayun, expect more from me.
Yeah, that's what's good with ano, no?
Yeah.
Songwriting. It's based from your personal
super.
experiences.
Ang deep ng meanings.
Yeah.
Every words of it, grabe yung
Saka
lyrics
mas
mo.
personal sila.
Yes.
Mas
Grabe.
feel mo kapag pino-perform mo sila sa kasapit. Everywhere. You've mentioned about Brooke Fraser and he's from New Zealand, di ba?
Yes, she's from New Zealand.
She is. Okay. Haven't heard about her. Pero that's really good to know. And ngayon na may narinig kami sa'yo na may influensya sa songwriting mo, sa tingin mo, ano yung impact ng international influence sa OPM natin today?
Ay naku, sa tingin ko talaga yung ano natin ngayon, yung sinasabi nating original Pinoy music ngayon is hindi siya super concentrated na sa Filipino. Mahirap nang malaman sa ngayon kung ano ba talaga yung tunog ng Pinoy. Unless itackle natin yung ibang genre which is yung indigenous Filipino music, which is very different from OPM also. Kasi yung OPM mas pop siya. Yung indigenous Filipino music kasi more on yung mga indigenous natin na mga instruments. So, pag sinabi natin OPM para sa akin ngayon, um, hindi na siya pure. Lagi siyang may influence kasi 'di ba na-colonize tayo before. And syempre ang tagal nating na-colonize ng mga Spanish, tsaka nung mga American. So, may mga tunog na Amerikano, tsaka yung Spanish kasi may European yon na tunog sa kanila. So, yun yung napansin ko ngayon sa music natin. May Spanish and European sound siya.
Oh,
Ooh.
very... Yeah. Ang, ang deep, grabe. Ang enlightening. That's what I love about
Yeah.
Moira. Very
Very transparent.
innovative.
Transparent. Because, ang galing nga niya actually eh. Kasi, let out niya yung mga thoughts niya, personal feelings, into
Yeah.
something really great that everyone could enjoy. Through her songs, songwriting. It's really good.
And that's what we enjoyed too. Diba?
Ang enjoy mo.
I like...
Uy!
Mm.
Huy!
Uy,
With your very successful career, as we know, sa tingin mo, how can you Filipino artists and even the previous Filipino artists can promote our very own Pinoy music?
I think na as a songwriter, it's also sandali, wait lang. Cut natin yun. Ang ingay niyo. Okay. Okay.
Di ba dun yun?
Nandun.
Yung tanong ko, nakalimutan
Feeling
ko na.
na ano eh,
Oo.
rinig siya. So, hindi yun ako nagsalita.
Ano kasi yung tinanong ko? Tama yung pagkatanong ko?
Oo. Pwede na ata i-cut dun sa how can you...
Kasi ikaw-
One, two, three.
Ako as a songwriter, tingin ko pwedeng mas ma-promote pa namin yung Filipino music by also incorporating, siguro pwedeng mag-merge yung mga indigenous Filipino music. Medyo foreign siya, pero sabi niyo nga kanina, there's always more to expect. So, pwede sigurong mag-incorporate ng mga ibang indigenous instruments. Marami tayong mga local na stringed instruments. And pwede nating ilagay yon sa ating sa mga kanta para magkaroon ng Filipino influence din. And I think hindi lang naman yun sa part namin ng mga artists, nasa part din yun ng mga nakikinig sa amin. So, sana mas bigyan nyo din ng pansin na i-explore yung ating OPM kasi kung mapapansin nyo, super matalinghaga, sobrang poetic. Our Filipino music is always very poetic. Although, syempre may mga ibang lumalabas din ngayon na hindi focused sa lyrics, focused sa tunog. But I personally believe that if we focus more on what is good in the OPM, we can promote it more. Whether artist ka or nakikinig ka, may enjoy mo yung OPM.
I
Mm.
agree. Especially with the instruments as you've mentioned. I think I've heard some from Ben and Ben.
Oh yeah, they have
Eh, di
like
ba?
some repercussions na very
Yeah,
indigenous din.
stringed instruments as well. It's very,
Mm.
very diverse. And hopefully, sana makita ka namin mag-collab with them. Especially in the rainy season.
Yes,
Yeah.
sana,
Sana
hoping.
mag-guest ka sa Animusika.
Yeah,
True,
okay,
true,
sige.
true, true.
Invite niyo lang ako.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Once again, everyone, this is Miss Moira de la Torre.
Thank you, Miru. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Brush. I am your host, Chloe Pamintuan, joined with Mr. Ilan Roswell Ramos. And today we are joined by Miss Cecilia Martinez, daughter of former dancer and choreographer Francisca Aquino, and the very talented Mr. Benedict Cabrero. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Well,
Hello.
how's
Nice
the
to meet you
weather?
guys.
How's the weather?
Ito
Maayos
mainit.
naman.
Nainitan na ako.
Miss Cecilia Martinez, let's start with you. For
Yes.
you, as the daughter of the very talented Miss Francisca Aquino, what do you think were the impact that she left in the artistic industry?
Yes. So my mom was a folk dance pioneer. She was a Filipino folk dancer, and kilala siya as a cultural researcher who helped preserve the Filipino cultural traditions such as yung tinikling and karinyosa.
Mm. So, Mr. Benedict Cabrera, how about you? Tell us what
Yes.
did you do? Like,
Well, I'm the national artist for visual arts na just recently from 2006, I think. And currently nag-iisip ako ng mga new paintings siguro. Nag-iisip nga ako kung gumawa ako ng painting about global warming kasi grabe ang init na dito sa Pinas.
I know, right? Grabe, meron
Yun
pa
nga.
tayo ditong dancer and anak ng dancer and the painter. Wow, very talented and skilled person. So, can you
Super.
guys tell us what inspired you or who? Oh, Miss Cecilia Martinez.
Okay, so sa mom ko naman, kilala nga siya as a Filipino folk dancer pero hindi alam ng karamihan na hindi siya nanggaling sa family of performers. Pero na-inspire siya, nagsimula ito noong nag-aaral pa siya as an undergrad. So nag-aral siya sa UP and nagtapos siya ng BS Education. So, nung graduate siya as a teacher, nagturo siya sa public schools ng PE or ng physical education. Tapos, she was tasked na maghanap ng mga folk dances na pwedeng ituro sa mga kids. Kaya lang, during her time, wala pang gadgets and internet. So, kailangan niya talagang mag-travel mismo by foot and so yun, she had to visit remote areas and barrios sa Luzon. Tapos habang nagvi-visit siya sa mga remote areas, doon niya nakita yung negative influence or impact ng Western culture sa atin. So nakita niya na masyado na tayong nako-consume ng Western culture to the point na parang napapabayaan na natin yung ating Filipino tradition. So from that, na-realize niya na if nag-continue yon, pwede na yung Filipino traditions natin and maging yung kaalaman natin sa um, Philippine dances, pwede siyang mawala or ma-modify. So, yun yung naging inspiration niya, kaya naging cultural researcher siya. So, yan.
I actually agree. Kasi, di ba, sobrang lakas na ng foreign influence sa atin, especially sa um, arts, di ba?
Hmm.
And very
Especially
interesting
dance.
because,
No? Sa dance.
syempre, yeah, and she graduated from UP and then she taught kids from public school. Well, personally, I'm from a public school, and that's really, really amazing to hear about that. How about you, Mr. Benedict?
Um, well, if we're talking about yung painting ko nung about si kay Sabel, what inspired me in making Sabel is kasi tumira kami with my family for a while sa Tondo and around Bambang district and may nakita akong babae. Hindi ko tinanong kung anong pangalan niya at the time. I remember nung 1980s pa ata ito. Medyo nasa ano ako, 40 pa lang ata ako nun. Tapos, I saw her looking for food. Namamalimos siya ng pagkain dun sa mga kalye-kalye. At ang suot niya, hindi siya nakadamit eh. Ang suot niya naka-plastic. Yun yung parang raincoat na rin na nahanap lang niya sa basurahan. And napaisip ako, ah it's not, hindi ako nakakita lagi ng gantong babae or any person dito sa Philippines. At nag- napag-isipan ko Idrosa. Hindi ko na tinanong yung pangalan niya, kaya pinangalanan ko na lang siyang Sabel. And that's what inspired me in starting making Sabel in the earliest form nung 1980s.
Oh, what an inspiring story to share. That really makes me so curious. Grabe. Yung dadaan ka lang sa kalsada, tapos may makikita ka na, then gusto mo na siya i-paint. That's so cool.
And I want that talent also.
Yeah, grabe. So she's the woman who pushed you to do it pala. What a woman she is. Grabe pala. So,
It's giving.
so what feelings you guys felt when you did it? Like, how did you come up to an idea painting the woman, like for example?
Yun nga, when I saw, so, back dun kay Isabel. When I saw Isabel, nalungkot ako. Kasi, hindi ko ma-imagine sarili ko na, ewan ko nga kung naligo as Isabel. At kung may inuuwian ba siya, dahil baka yun na rin yung humot niya. Yun. So, I felt sad, but then again, inspired din ako. So, I attempted to, siguro represent her first through paintings. And it started as, marami kasi akong renditions na ginawa kay Isabel. Pero, throughout painting her, gumagawa ako ng iba't ibang versions niya. Some more on the realistic side and some more on formalistic siguro on the side of that. And I felt empowered, pero I also felt humbled with the idea na I'm making a social commentary sa estado ng Pilipinas, sa mga, especially on the poverty and marginalized side ng community natin. So, yun.
Can you imagine from that scratch, magiging national art? Grabe, how inspiring talaga. And unique you are, Mr. Cabrero. How about you naman, Miss Cecilia? How are your mom's work, sorry, related to Arts and Nation?
Okay. Pagdating naman sa art na na-gather ng mom ko, which is yung mga folk dances nga. So, alam naman natin na yung pinakamalaki na naiwan na legacy sa atin ng mga taga-Spain ay yung religion. Pero aside from that, meron din kasi silang mga na-introduce sa atin or mga naipamana or naiwan na humuhubog din sa ating culture. And isa na doon yung pagdating sa pagsasayaw. So, yung isa na na-research ng mom ko ay yung sayaw na Cariñosa, Filipino folk dance siya. And actually, itong Cariñosa, meron siyang relation doon sa Spanish dance, which is bolero. And pareha sila na merong, yung meaning nila same, which means affectionate love or courtship. Pero yung Cariñosa, kaya siya unique kasi dahil dun sa mga elements na ginagamit doon sa sayaw. So, yung Karinyosa makita natin do'n na pagdating sa pagsasayaw yung kasuotan ng mga dancers, sinusuot nila yung ating national, costumes, yung Barong Tagalog and Barot Saya. And alam naman natin na itong national costumes, these are one of the things din na, ah, nag-a-identify sa ating, country. Tapos aside from that, yung ding meaning behind ng Karinyosa, which is yung courtship, isa siya sa Filipino tradition na hanggang ngayon ay napa-practice ng mga Filipinos. So from that, makikita natin kung paano tayo namumuhay noon. Kaya itong art na ito, yung sa dance, um, maganda siya, or specifically yung Philippine dances, um, maganda siya dahil sa atin yung dance may nakukuha na knowledge, which is yung culture natin. So yun, naiiba siya sa ibang bansa dahil 'pag present natin ito sa ibang mga tao, natututo sila about sa kung paano tayo namumuhay noon. Kasi yung Philippine dances, yung, concept niya ay based sa mga ginagawa natin. Like yun, for example, yung sa culture natin pinapakita yung courtship, gano'n. So, yan.
Alam mo,
And
someday I wanna learn how to dance, Karinyawasan.
that's very interesting. And now that your mom has passed, and I'm pretty sure that her legacy lives within us all. And I think that her artworks that she has introduced us to, this will have a very great impact on our future generation. And I hope na ma-carry to throughout every Filipino's life, kasi it's very beautiful. And learning about those stuffs is really, very remarkable, what she has done. And with you, Mr. Benedict, what do you think that with given your artworks, ano yung mga ine-expect mo na maging impact sa future generation nating mga Pilipino?
Well, for one, I expect na ma-appreciate at maintindihan niyo ng audience ko si Isabel. I think kung makikita nila sa mga museum ko, dinidisplay ko naman si Isabel eh. Iba't ibang rendition niya. I hope na maintindihan nila yung social commentary ko about dislocation, social dislocation. Kasi hindi lang naman siya about sa isang babaeng may sinusuot lang na plastic. Anyone can do that. Pero it it takes a level of understanding and of course Filipino context na bakit ba suot nito? Bakit ba suot nitong babae in particular si Isabel? Bakit siya may suot na plastic sheet? Bakit siya may suot na plastic? And bakit marami akong renditions na ginagawa nito? Because of course, hindi lang naman yan, yun nga, like I said before, hindi lang naman yan just one instance. Lagi ko nakikita si Isabel nun for I think 2 years ata. Same girl, same girl. And I hope naiintindihan nila na kada rendition is just not just developing Isabel but also developing myself on how I understand ang mahihirap.
So that wraps up our talk for today. Thank you, Mr. Benedict Cabrero and Cecilia Martinez in behalf of her mom, Mrs. Francisca Aquino. Grabe, very inspiring ng stories niyo and I couldn't wait sa future works niyo. And yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us at The Brush. Mr. Benedict, we hope that we see more of you in the future. And Miss Cecilia, we hope to see you very much soon. And I hope that you introduce and, carry on your mother's legacy with you. Thank you very much, everyone.
have a nice
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Brush. I am again your host, Chloe Pamintuan, together with Elan Ramos. And right now we are at our online backstage, as we call it, joined by our chosen audience from the segment earlier. Miss Jana and Mr. Neil. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So, upon watching our episode for today, for our segment, can you share us your thoughts about it, Miss Jana?
From what I watched earlier, uh, maraming insights din and learnings yung natutuhan ko from the daughter of Miss Aquino. And I'm glad to know about her life, her contribution sa kultura ng Philippines at kung paano niya na-preserve yung traditional na sayaw and music representing the Philippines. Ah, dahil dito, naintindihan ko kung gaano kahalaga yung pagpapalaganap at pangangalaga sa kultura ng Philippines. And I'm happy na na-discover ko yung ibang talent din ng Filipinos representing our country. And yung kay Ben Cab naman, I'm glad na napo-promote niya yung sining and kultura ng bansa. Well, from what he started then, it's a roller coaster life din talaga. So, he gives inspiration din sa mga bagong generation ng artist and making himself known because of his beautiful works then from what he started. So, his works contribute to his love for the country at yung layunin niya rin na i-preserve yung culture ng Philippines. And I can say na he is not just a painter, but he's an inspiration to many representing the Philippines. At yun nga, sa pamamagitan ng works niya rin, like yung sa Bell, ipinapakita niya nga yung love and pagpapahalaga sa Philippines, sa tradition, sa experience, and yung kagandahan din ng culture natin. So, yung question ko lang, ah, kay Miss Cecilia, ah, were you interested din na sumunod sa footsteps ng mom mo? Yun.
Yes, thank you sa question. Yes, interested ako na sumunod sa ginawa ng mom ko since nakita ko yun nga nasabi mo, yung kagandahan ng pagpe-preserve ng ating Filipino culture and tradition. So, yung mom ko actually meron na silang nasimulan, so nabuo yung Philippine folk dance society or company na Bayanihan. And ako, gusto ko lang din yun i-continue na i-manage since nakita ko rin yung progress ng dance company na yon. So yung Bayanihan, marami tayo doon na napa-perform ng mga cultural dances natin. So gusto ko siya na mag-continue na marami pang ma-perform hindi lang dito sa Philippines kundi sana marami pang tao mula sa ibang bansa na makakita ng ating mga folk dances and ma-expose sila dito. So yan, thank you sa question.
Mm, that's so nice. Grabe ang enlightening talaga ni Miss Cecilia. You know, Chloe, I really like people na nakaka-appreciate ng arts, especially nowadays. Uh, how about you naman, Mr. Neil? Can you share us your thoughts about our segment for today? I mean, our episode for today.
I very much would be glad to do that. First, honestly, nagulat ako when Miss Cecilia said that our culture has been influenced so much, but I'm glad that her mom is doing her best to try to preserve our culture and what at least what is left of us and what we could take away from the influence and as well as Sir Ben Cab's works. I mean, these things are a thing of beauty. They're probably priceless, and a lot of people would take a lot of inspiration from it. And just like what Miss Jana said, I am very happy that we have artists who are willing to dedicate their life into promoting the Filipino culture, the arts, and encouraging a lot of young artists and aspiring young adults as well to get into the arts to get more involved. Though I do have a question for Sir Ben Cab. Since I did hear of your works before, though I didn't know you that much, at least it is my honor to meet you in person. I do have to ask, do you think that the material that you use, like the technique or the material, like the type of paint that you use, did affect how your paintings were received by the masses or the audience?
Thank you. Thank you, Neil, for that. Good question. Well, I use for the most part yung mga ginamit kong material, ingredient for Sabel is usually oil or acrylic. Pero I did napaisip ako dun sa question mo. Uh, Siguro in terms of contemporary art, nakalimutan ko yung term kung anong tawag sa say painting na na nagdi lumalabas sa material, say sabihin natin si Isabel ulit, pero this time plastic naman. Plastic naman yung nakalagay sa canvas. I forgot what type of art that is, pero I think even if oil and acrylic pa lang ako nun, I do feel like it's already expressed based from kung ano yung subject, which is Isabel. And if I move past that, if I move past my material and go on to being more meta, I guess, uh, I think it does the job of place placing it more, parang facing it to the audience more, taking it out. Pero I think it's enough kung painting lang siya, in my opinion.
Okay, to wrap up everything, thank you so much for everyone that has joined us today. Thank you to our guests and to our audience. Yes, again, we are
The Brush. Thank you guys for joining us, Jana and Neil, our special audiences, and for Neil Scott. And also, thank you, Benedict, Mr. Benedict Cabrero, and Cecilia Martinez. And that's all